I'm Fantastic, hey! For so long, so many of you asked me to build one specific building. Once again, we head to Dubai. This is the building. It's a vision for a 2.4 kilometer high vertical city, the Dubai City Tower. And this is me, a Minecraft dude trying to rebuild this monstrous build. Because it's that extremely high, I can't build it on a real scale. Because like 2,400 blocks. I mean, I could build it, but I won't. Pretty much out of the reason because I can't fit this whole building into one picture. Like I could increase the render distance to the very maximum and still I wouldn't be able to see the top and the bottom at the same time. So yeah, I gotta decrease the size. Now, before we start building, let's give it a closer look. With it being 2,400 meters high, it is 3 times higher than the Burj Khalifa. It consists of 6 spirals, 3 blue outer ones as well as 3 yellow inner ones. The yellow ones twist to the right whilst the blue ones twist to the left. Now, it might not appear to be a difficult building, but in fact it is one of the, if not the most difficult building I've built so far. This out of 2 specific reasons. First, it's not a that much known building like, I don't know, the Burj Khalifa for example. And this is because it's just a vision. So there aren't enough plans and pictures and data. So it was a very long time, it was too difficult for me to get to the information I needed in order to build it. Second, it's a very curvy skyscraper. That means it's difficult to determine a specific point. Like for example, how high and how far from the middle is this point over here? Yeah, we can just guess. And with a lot of guessing and a lot of trying out, I started to build this enormous building. Have fun! So we have a total height of 2,400 meters. In Minecraft terms, that's 2,400 blocks. So yeah, because we can't build that high, I've decided to build everything on a scale of 1 to 3. So we have a total height of 800 blocks. At least if you could calculate correctly, because somehow I managed to build 82 blocks so tall. So our build will be 882 blocks high. That's a scale of 1 to 2.7211. I'm marking the total height with the column in the center. Now we start with the blue spirals, and therefore it's very important to know where we gotta start. And I found out something. Those corners of the blue spirals, you can connect them with circles, and that's gonna be very helpful for us. So we make those circles around the column and we connect specific points on those circles to form the ground of one of those spirals. Those points we determine more or less by guessing, or like what looks good in my opinion. We need more of those shapes, but at different height levels. Important therefore is the higher the shape is, the smaller it has to be, as well as that they are moved more towards the center column, as well as that they are rotated a bit. What we can do now is we can connect them. World Edit, a modification I use, easily allows us to create a curve between those. So now we have the outline of one of those spirals, and next thing we gotta do is connect every single block with each other. When we go back to our model, we see that the facade alternates all the time between light blue and white, and we gotta do that as well. And therefore we have two methods. We could either start alternating between the two types of stained glass from the very beginning, or use a temporary block for everything and put the pattern on the facade afterwards. We do the latter. Using World Edit, we can easily replace the yellow wool with our pattern. So let's repeat this until the entire surface of our spiral is covered in this pattern. Now, in my opinion, this looks too boring. We could add some sea lanterns to improve it. Either we add them only at the borders or add them everywhere randomly. We stick with a ladder idea for now, but we can change it later on again. Now we gotta repeat this for two more spirals. When you're familiar with World Edit, you'd know that we can easily select this whole spiral and rotate it 2 more times so that we don't have to repeat this whole work. But there's a huge problem with that, and that's it's not possible to rotate it very accurately. And you can see that when you watch my Burj Khalifa time-lapse. There I rotated stuff at the very beginning, and yeah, I had a huge mess. And I don't know if it's more of an effort to either rotate it and clean it all up, or to do it everything yourself. I've decided to do it all over again for the other 2 spirals. I'm changing the whole sea lantern stuff because I think it's too bright with all this daylight and it's too much of a mess, and I want to have a clean design. But please tell me your opinion on this in the comments below. We are done with the 3 spirals, but we are not done with the entire building, because we still gotta do the 3 inner spirals. Yay! I mean, it's so much work, to be honest. I mean, you're watching a time lapse and it appears very quick and easy, but in fact it's not fun at all. Always gotta do the exact same steps, connecting, but I won't give up. Let's finish this building. Little thing you might have noticed while I was complaining, and that's the inner spirals, they don't start from the very bottom. Instead, they start from an elevated area, because below them there's the whole entrance and everything. You'll see what I mean when we get to this step. Oh my god, finally we are not done, but we are done with the most annoying part. The only two things that are still missing are the core, as well as the whole entrance and everything at the very bottom. We head back to our model and we see the core starts at the ground with the whole entrance structure, and it goes up, and the further up it goes the thinner it gets, until it ends in the spire. Also, we can see we have some platforms on the core. I know they are extremely tiny, but we will still add them just to be accurate. But first, let's build the spire. And now the core with all its platforms. So that we can use different shades of grey, I've decided to change the color of the ground. For the bottom part of the Dubai City Tower, we have a very special design. First of all, the core is not connected with this part of the structure. Also, my design of the Dubai City Tower differentiates to this model. I think the design I choose, it fits way better than the one of the model. I'm just connecting those spirals with each other. We only gotta fill this area and fix some tiny mistakes, and we are done with this majestic building. I hope you enjoyed today's build, and I'd be very happy if you'd liked my video, subscribed, and yeah, showed up the next time we build a new structure. Bye bye!